Okay, sorry, I forgot to record. So, okay. So we have this structure here. The market, first of all, the market didn't come down here to take out our uh, last pullback here. And the market created a new structure in M5 here. So this is a break of structure in lower time frame. Then our change of character is transferred from here to this new one here. Okay, but technically here, this one is a valid pullback, but it's a really minor pullback here. So when the market break this structure here, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market will go down here. So I always recommend you to wait for the market to take out a bigger pullback like this one here. If you compare this pullback here and this one here, this pullback is stronger than this one here. So when the market will drop down here and break this one, that means the market is really willing to go downside. All right, but this one is a very weak pullback here. So if the market broke it, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market is willing to go downside here. Okay, so we have to wait for the market to take out this strong pullback which is here. So let's see. Okay, now we have our change of character here. Okay, so after the change of character, as the market has mitigated our extreme order block without swiping liquidity in higher time frame, that means that we will need inducement in lower time frame. But in my recent video on my YouTube, I said that lower time frame inducement is a complete waste of time, and you just have to go watch the video and you understand why I said that was inducement in lower time frame is a complete waste of time. But as for now, we're gonna just use inducement before we can take this trade. All right. So here we have our valid order block, our valid first order block here in lower time frame. So this one is here, and we have to identify also our extreme order block in lower time frame, which is high above here. All right. So anything in between these two order blocks are just smart money trap, and our inducement is down here. So after that, let's wait and see what the market has done here. Okay, you see that the market came close to our inducement here, but didn't actually take it. So till now, we don't have a clear inducement swipe here, so we cannot take a trade based on this structure here. All right, and then we just have to wait again for the market to create another inducement and take it out before mitigating our order block so that we can take a sell. Okay, so this is actually the reason I said in my latest video that the inducement in lower time frame is a complete waste of time, because most of the time you miss your trade because just of an inducement. You know, an inducement is here to just grab liquidity. All right, let's say for example this one is our inducement here. So the explanation is that some traders will place their trade around here, and their liquidity will be just here. But I'm pretty sure that there's no trader placing their stop loss just within this structure here after placing their trade here. They will put it all the way above the main structure like this one here. Okay, there may be liquidity just resting above just this inducement here, but this is not big liquidity because we are in lower time frame. You know, the bigger the time frame and the bigger the liquidity, and the lower the time frame and the lower the liquidity. All right, so we are, when you're in lower time frame, that means the liquidity is really small compared to the higher time frame liquidities. All right, so inducement in lower time frame is a complete waste of time according to me. So that's why I usually don't use inducement before taking my trade. So just wait for the market to mitigate your valid order block. In this case here, our valid order block is high above here because this order block here is already mitigated by this small pullback here, by this small candle here. So we couldn't take a trade based on this one because it was already mitigated. All right, so we have to wait for the market to mitigate our first valid order block here or our extreme order block here without regardless of the inducement. All right, but as for now, if we don't have a liquidity sweep, we don't have an inducement sweep here, so we cannot take an inducement if you want to follow the proper entry mode. Okay, okay, so here when you moved forward, finally we got our inducement, which is here. Okay, and you guys have to be very careful. You see that this one here is our lowest point here. All right, and this pullback here is on the left side of this lowest point, which is here. So when the market push higher to take this one, that means this is our inducement which was taken. And where is our order block? Now the market has created new structures here, so our first order block has moved from this one here all the way down here. This is our order block, which is here. Okay, because this gray candle here has taken out the previous candle's liquidity. It is a valid pullback here. So this is a valid first order block here, and see that actually the market came back to mitigate our order block here before dropping. All right, but at that time, last week I was really sick, so I was not really on the market, so that I can give you this confirmation. That's maybe why we have missed this trade, but it was a beautiful trade, but we have missed it. All right, so our first valid entry is all the way down here. Okay, and now imagine you're placing your trade here. What will be your stop loss in this case? Okay, this will be really tough for you to place a stop loss very high above here. All right, so that's why I always say that just take your trade in lower time frame based on the first mitigation of your first valid order block. All right, so usually the first valid order block is somewhere around above here, so your stop loss size will be a little bit decreased here. Okay, so don't really care about the inducement. All right, because you'll be placing your stop loss all above here, so you will be safe. All right, so if the market push higher to take out your stop loss, that means that the market has invalidated your setup, and this is a valid loss. All right, but at this point here, it will be really difficult for you to place your stop loss high above here, because your stop loss size will be really huge here, and this was caused by the fact that we were waiting for an inducement. Our entry points has moved all the way up here to this way down here, so it will be really hard for you to place your stop loss above this structure here. All right, so this is how we could have got this trade here, but we unfortunately missed this trade here. And when I switch back to H1, the market kept dropping very sharply here. You see here that the market is making a sharp drop here, and as you all have seen that day, the market came all the way down here to take profit down here. You see the take profit was hit here, and the market made a sharp reaction to the upside here. Okay, so this is the recapitulation of this trade that we have missed here. There was actually a confirmation, but this one was not a high quality entry, because the market has moved all the way down here, and your stop loss size will be really big here. Okay, so this is my recommendation. The lower time frame inducement is just a waste of time. It's really useless for me. So I'll just place my take. I'll just take my trade based on the mitigation of lower time frame order block. All right. So this is for USD CAD. I've also shared another trade on GBP USD. We're gonna go to this setup here and make a recapitulation as well. Okay, so this was our setup on GBP USD. Okay, and at the time I shared this setup here, the market was around here, if I remember well. The market was somewhere here. Okay, so first of all, the market was, and this was the structure here. The market was bearish here, break of structure. Market took inducement here, another break of structure here, and this one here is our change of character. So the market switched from bearish to bullish now, and in this setup here, the market has changed character here, and now we have to identify our inducement, which is down below here. And this is our only valid order block in this leg here, and it is our extreme order block. And this extreme order block has swept the liquidity of this previous support level here. So this is one, it was a really high probability order block, because that's already swept liquidity here. So when the market will come to mitigate this one, the chances that the market reacts are very high here, because the market already swept liquidity here. And let's see what the market have done. We see that the market has pushed higher without coming down to take out our inducement or mitigating our extreme order block. And the market has created a new structure here. At the time the market has broken this structure here, our inducement is transferred from down here all the way above here, because the market has created a new structure here. All right. So this is our new structure here. And technically here we have an entry point, which is our hidden POI. This shadow here has collected liquidity of the previous candles. All right. So this could have been our valid entry if the market came down to mitigate it. But the problem here is that there is liquidity resting just below this structure here. Take a look at this structure here. This one here is like our trend line liquidity. So there are highly chances that the market break this order block here, this hidden POI here, before rising up. Okay, I've made a complete video about high probability order block on YouTube, so you guys can watch and see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so this one here was a little bit risky here, so we couldn't have take a trade here because the market will probably drop down here to swipe all to collect all of this liquidity before pushing higher. And later on, the market did come down to mitigate this hidden POI here, but the market didn't go down further to swipe our liquidity here. So this is part of the game. Okay, you just have to play safe, just follow the rules. At this time, the market has reacted on this POI here, but the next time maybe the market will not react yet. The market will go down to swipe of liquidity before pushing high. So you just have to follow your rules. As for me, my rules is that when there is liquidity resting just below an order block, I'll not take a trade based on this one, or I'll wait for the market to sweep this liquidity before I take my trade here. All right, but when the market come here, mitigate and make a reaction right after that, and I don't take a trade based on that because there's chances that the market come down and swipe liquidity before rising here. And we have our breakup structure here. This is our breakup structure here. And now that the market has broken structure, we just have to identify another inducement, wait for the market to mitigate a valid order block, then we can take another buy here. So basically, GBP USD is very bullish here. Okay, so we only have to wait for to look for buy opportunities here. All right, so this is the end of the backtesting. Okay, so now we have this new structure here. So we have to wait for the market to take out this inducement, which is here. This is our valid inducement, and our decisional order block is down here. This one is my decisional order block, a clean and mitigated decisional order block. Okay. So this is here. If this decisional order block fell, then we have to identify our extreme order block. What is our extreme order block? So this is our latest higher low, which is here. So our order block is here. Let me zoom in. Our extreme order block. This one is our extreme order block. Okay. Because every order block down here is already mitigated or doesn't have a proper imbalance here. Okay. But there is a small trap here. There is liquidity resting just below this order block here. Okay. So when the market will come down here to mitigate this order block here, you have to wait for the market to either swipe this liquidity before you can jump into the trade, or just wait for the market to give you another structure so that you can have a better order block. All right, so this one here is our extreme order block, but there's liquidity resting below this structure here, so there are chances that the market push down to swipe all this liquidity before rising up here. So when you'll be trading on this order block here, be very careful. Okay. Okay, so this is our new structure for GBP USD. Okay, so this is our decisional order block here. Any questions for GBP USD? Okay, if you got no question, we're gonna move on because we'll soon run out of time. So this is our setup on AUD USD. This one was a simple and a basic one. So this setup here was shared something like 2 weeks ago. We have taken trade based on this hidden POI, and the market did come down here to take profit here. And after that, the market did fail to close below this structure here. So this is not yet a valid break of structure here. All right. So this lower high here is not yet confirmed here. So we have to wait for the market to push all the way up to mitigate our extreme order block, which is here. And anything between this decisional order block and extreme order block here are smart money trap. All right. And you see that the market didn't respect it at all. You see that this order block is clean. It has already collected liquidity and there is a proper imbalance here. But you see that the market gave a fake reaction here before pushing higher to trap sellers here based on this smart money trap here. Okay. So at this time here, the confirmation was really tricky here, because when the market mitigated this extreme order block here, after that the market was really consolidating. There was no direction here. The market was just moving sideways here. So it was very difficult to have a proper confirmation for this entry here. And moreover, you see that the market has left a very huge gap here. So it is really unclear here if this structure is a valid structure or not. Okay, that's why I really didn't want to take trade based on this structure here. Okay, you don't know if this structure is valid or not because the market is moving sideways and creating gaps here. Okay, so this was a low probability confirmation over here. Okay, this was not really great. All right, sorry for the interruption. So I was saying that this one here was not a really high probability. confirmation here, okay? Because the market was moving really sideways and we didn't have a clear structure here. But anyway, I've spotted this confirmation in the higher time frame here. Because lower time frame was a nightmare, we couldn't relate on the structure on the lower time frame. So I just stayed in higher time frame, and I see that the market start making now this is small structure in our main time frame, which is here. And this one here is like our change of character, liquidity, which is here, a clean order block above here, and liquidity resting just below here. So when the market will mitigate our order block in this small structure here in our main time frame, then the market will probably go down here. But unfortunately, the market didn't respect this structure at all and push higher here. So this setup has just invalidated. This was a valid loss here. All right. Okay, so this was a setup that I've shared also with you in our premium. And the market did come to mitigate our extreme order block here, but this was like a stop loss enter here. The market pushed high to take out liquidity before making this sharp drop here. Okay, so this trade also failed here because we didn't, the market has just made a stop loss enter here. So it has collected liquidity before dropping here. And after that, the setup is completely invalidated. And if you zoom close in here, the market didn't confirm the change of character yet. Okay, the market has not confirmed the change of character yet. So this structure was still valid until the market pushed up again and completely closed above this one here. And now this is our valid change of character. So after this change of character here, we are in a bullish structure now, okay? Our inducement will be down here. And our first valid order block. There is no first valid order block in this leg here because everything is mitigated here. So we have to go all the way down here. So we have this structure here, which is a high probability for me. And I'll tell you why this one here is high probability. Okay, we have this structure here. So you see on the left side here, this rejections here. This one here is like our support level. The market has made many rejections here for the first time, second time, third time, and fourth time here. So down below here, there is high liquidity zone here. There's liquidity resting just above this order block here. And there is a small imbalance available here. So this is really high probability here. So when the market will come down here, mitigate our order block here, then this will be a really high probability for a buy here, okay? So this is our structure on gold, all right? So there's nothing else interesting here on gold that we can talk about. Unless you guys have a question, I'll be more than glad to answer.